across the country have been solved thanks to advances in DNA technology and the science of forensic genealogy. Well, while the case of Indiana serial killer Herbert Baumeister isn't necessarily cold, the true extent of his suspected crimes remains a mystery.
Maybe his name might not be as recognizable as Dahmer or Gacy or people like that, but I think his actions certainly parallel, if not takes him to the forefront.
In the summer of 1996, a shocking discovery on a Westfield horse farm.
The woods have yielded more bones and more bodies. This latest discovery only deepens the mystery about the identity of the victims and the reasons why they never made it out of this gently rolling estate in Hamilton County.
I would consider it bizarre. I mean, we're finding human bones. It's not at a gravesite.
10,000 bones and bone fragments were eventually found at Fox Hollow Farm, the culmination of a years-long investigation into missing men.
We found out real quick that there were a lot of missing people, a lot of missing gay people in Indianapolis.
I was extremely mad that a man had taken his time to cruise our area.
Eventually, 8 men were identified from the remains found at Fox Hollow Farm, including Richard Hamilton.
He would stand up for people, and he loved people.
And Manuel Resendez.
He was just a really nice, kind person. I don't know how to describe it. Horrible. And I know it had to be horrific for my mom.
This is Herb Baumeister. In the mid-1990s, Hamilton County, let me see here, Fox Hollow Farm in Westfield, Indiana, Herb Baumeister. So I will copy and paste the name for you. Oh, thank you, Jinx. Yes, Herb Baumeister, Fox Hollow Farms, in the mid-1990s. And there's still, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Silky, they still think that there's a lot of other victims that are out there. Do they not? Like unnamed.
Yes,
missing.
and this is why it came up earlier this year, because they have found more bones than they can identify. And believe me, they found a lot of bodies. But so now they are asking for, people. Really, if you have a missing, a missing person from back in this time period, especially male, they are wanting you to do like the DNA, so they can do a genetic match to see, or to let somebody know, at least. If nothing else, if you had a family member back in the 90s that just disappeared, could have possibly been in Indiana or whatever, or passing through, who knows? Yeah, they're wanting more families to reach out and say, hey, I'm looking for this person, because they just have too many unidentified bones.
It's it's creepy as shit.
It is. Yeah.
Give me 1 second here.
And that's not even the creepiest thing about Herb Baumeister. To me, it's always his mannequins in the basement.
I know.
For those that don't know, they had an in-ground pool. Like, they had a basement area. They had an in-ground pool. And he had all of these mannequins, like, doing things. They were like, at the bar, they were at the pool. It looked like a party. Like, he had these mannequins having their party all the time. And he would bring a guest, he'd pick up a guy at the bar or whatever. And, he'd say, let's party, come to my house. And, I've got a pool. I mean, it's a very beautiful house. And so they would go in there. I mean, the first thing, look.
Yeah.
I'm not going home with somebody I just met at
the
a bar,
property.
But yeah, if I lose my marbles and do go to your house and I walk into a room and there's mannequins everywhere, I am noping right out the door. Not happening.
Especially that, because it's like you're walking into a Halloween house or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's creepy. If that don't creep you out, like, dude, what the hell are you doing with all these mannequins, bro? Is
Exactly.
it a pool party?
Yeah,
A
these are all
plastic
your
pool party?
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Plastic
weird.
pool
It's
party.
too weird.
Mm. Let me see.
I guess if you have no friends,
Found at
that's what you
Fox.
have to do.
Huh?
I guess if you have no friends, that's what you have to do. Just have mannequins around. I don't know.
Well, what would I like? What the hell was his wife doing? You know, like that's what
she was
like
she was
that's what was crazy.
upstairs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have to think that, looking at her interview, she is a very innocent type person. But, I have to think, did you never wonder? I mean, you had to know. She had to know that there were mannequins down there. I mean, did she not think that was just weird as heck? I'm definitely saying, and I have to go back and look. I think this was like a first marriage, like the only one, and she'd been with him all these years. So, I mean, I don't know, but I think I would at least say, hey, hun, have you lost your mind? You're going down the rabbit hole here. What's with the mannequins? I don't know. That would creep me out. But it's hard to say.
And what the hell was the wife doing though? That's what I'm wondering. Like, what the hell was the wife doing? Because I don't know. I mean, I understand it's a large property. There was multiple dwellings, a lot of area, but to be doing it for that long, that's where I'm like, how did you not stumble across something at some point?
Well, at one time, the dog even dug up and brought a bone of some kind up to, I don't know if it was a femur or something. And the way that Herb explained it to his family was his father was a doctor. And he's like, oh, well, he had these actual skeletons, part of his lab, part of his whatever practice. He had an actual skeletons. And, he probably, when he got tired of them, didn't need them anymore, he just buried them in the yard, and that's what this bone is from. I mean, I would question that.
Yeah, Catastrophe says, don't marry men with dolls, just a heads up.
For sure. Especially for voodoo
Farm,
dolls.
including Richard Hamilton.
Right.
What's this cute little doll you got, honey?
Yeah.
I want to know why my stomach is hurting so bad. My gosh.
It's like, what the hell is that Cabbage Patch Kid doing in the corner over there, What the hell is this?
Yeah.
He would stand up for people, and he loved people.
And Manuel Resendez.
He was just a really, really nice, kind person.
Their sisters recall the years their families went without answers.
I don't know how to describe it. Horrible. And I know it had to be horrific for my mom. That was her baby.
Even though it's painful and open wounds, this is for me. I was that girl looking for my brother.
But to this day, some of the remains found at Fox Hollow Farm remain unidentified, nameless, and unclaimed.
Everybody deserves a name. It doesn't matter what their lifestyle was, who they were in life, how much money they did or didn't have, what kind of job they had. They deserve to have a name.
In a WRTV Presents special, you'll hear from those who were closest to the Baumeister case, and the man now leading an effort to bring closure to more families thanks to advances in DNA technology. Join us Wednesday at 7 p.m. Forgotten at Fox Hollow, the victims of an Indiana serial killer.
Damn. So that's coming out
Oh.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. What are you doing Thursday night, Silky? Or
To work
the week?
Wednesday. I'm working Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but I get home about 7.
Okay. Oh, really?
So there's also, by the way, and I might do this on my channel if people are interested. There is a really good documentary. It's called The Haunting of Fox Hollow Farm, and it's all this.
Really?
recaps the story, and then it goes into all the paranormal events. I mean, we're coming up on spooky season. But yeah, all these things that people have, claimed to have seen and experienced. It's pretty interesting.
Let me see. What are you doing Saturday? Because maybe we can do something. No, you gotta work.
No, I'm off this weekend. This coming weekend I'm off.
Let's if you want to do a members only Saturday for this, we can do that since you're available. If you're not busy Saturday, and then we can and then this episode that's coming out on Wednesday, yeah, we can include that in the episode. That's interesting. I'm surprised they're coming out with a new one, because this case is you look at all these videos and they're so old.
Yeah, I think it's just because they are desperate to find who these people are, and
but
finally,
they just keep finding, huh?
Right. And I mean, you got to figure the evidence room is piling up with bones. Like, they really need to, get rid of these bones. And that, so they're desperately trying to help families and probably, get some of this to the right place.